everybody. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Haleii.
I'm Tina.
And we are in
Three Nerds We Trust. Hey, Haleii. So we usually start with a mistake that we've made and what we've learned from it. Do you have any mistakes that you've made that you want to share with us?
None.
A knowing smile.
I learn from my mistakes. Well, I know the first time starting a business, I started in the middle of the pandemic. That's the tutoring business where I met you.
Yeah, we met each other.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Yes.
She did, yes.
Okay, awesome. So what I did, I didn't have a business plan per se right off. I just knew it was something that I was passionate about, something that I wanted to do, and I kept driving by this space, and I'm like, hey, one of those units are mine. And it happened, but what happened a year later was my overhead became more than what I was bringing in. So if I would have done that business plan, I would have been in a better position. But now I tutor at the library for free.
Smart.
I mean, as far as payment, no rent, no rent.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Part of being a boss.
Yes. I guess which brings us to the theme for today for In Three Nerds We Trust.
Yes.
It is
Girl boss.
BossBabe, actually.
So close.
Very close.
I totally wrote down girl boss too. That's my
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
BossBabe.
It's BossBabe. And what did you guys, let's start with Haleii again. What does BossBabe mean to you? Like, how do you live BossBabe? I know we've had a discussion before about this briefly.
We have. And it was more so, well, can we give a snippet of the discussion?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's start with that.
What I remember is me talking about a boss lady, and you're like, hey, why does it have to be a boss lady? Why can't it be a man? Why can't it be a person? But my thing is, it not to take away from it, let's not focus on the boss babe, the babe part of it. Let's more so focus on what it is to be a boss type thing. And I feel through it all, trials, tribulations, right? Mm-hmm. You still do what you have to do to make it happen. If you all knew the position I was in right now, you'd be like, hey, how are you still teaching? How are you tutoring? How are you even running a nonprofit? How are you still being a mommy? But that's part of being a boss to me. That's my definition of being a boss, where you can make things happen even if there's not a way that seems possible, right? Well, I'm gonna let you talk because I have some other things I like to say.
I identify with that. I remember the conversation as well, and I was like, I just don't want to be defined as a gendered boss. Like, right. I felt like it took away from how hard I worked when someone says, oh, you're a boss lady, or you're a boss B word, or you're a boss babe. And I'm like, why can't I just be a boss?
Right.
And so for me, I love that the term has empowered women. And I love that you embody that. And I know that, all three of us kind of do, right? But, and I also like sadly, I also kind of like the products that have those hashtags and things that are kind of on it. Yes. I like the pink boss stuff.
Yeah.
But there's something about attaching like a qualifier, a limiting, restricting statement to the beginning or end of boss that just always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah. And so for me, it was like, why can't someone just call me a boss? I just want to be a regular boss, a cool boss.
The boss.
The boss.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, that's where a lot of my thoughts started from this theme.
I totally agree with the qualifier after. That really is about being the boss. And for me, I kind of love it. And I kind of don't. So to me, it's almost like it's an Instagram. Like, I think of BossBabe, and I think of a color scheme, and I can see the artistic, like the pictures they use. I can see everything. It's an image. It's a theme, and I appreciate it for liberating and helping people and having them see themselves as the boss. But to me, it's so glossy. It's so perfection, and I don't think that's what it is at all. So I think if you're the boss and you're not letting anything stop you, you know, no matter what you're going through, you
Right.
find a way to get it done.
Right.
Well, in this, it makes it seem like, oh, you can have it all, but it's never any problems, and you're just like a superwoman, which we all are in our own way. But I think it's so problematic to be like, oh, you can have everything, and there's not going to be any issues, and like I don't like the way that rolls out. I think that I wish it could be a little bit more genuine. I wish it could be a little bit more like, this is real talk, real life. I am a boss, but I also am a real person. To me, it's just very glossy, and
I feel like I followed a lot of, you know, Pinterest, Instagram to get a vision, kind of like for vision boarding, you know, and to see like images of successful looking women. And it looked like a lot of the pictures I was seeing were models in suits going onto an airplane. Like, you know, I was just like, this is not what I am, you know. When I typed in like boss, female or something like that, you know, it was images like that, and it just didn't resonate with me in that respect. And when I was doing my research for this topic, and actually I think it was almost the start of how we got into this podcast, I was just like, you know, we were having that discussion as well, and Boss Babe was one of the things, and it was saying that the term Boss Babe was really used in a lot of MLMs, multi-level marketing, to try to show these women that were being recruited that you could have this glamorous lifestyle, be in the upper middle class by working from home, still being a mom, and then selling our products, right? And then what they were really doing was recruiting other women, like LuLaRoe, right? LuLaRoe was super famous for their leggings, and what they were really doing was trying to recruit. And they were using these terms, hashtag BossBabe, hashtag all of that stuff, to try to lifestyle market. And from there, just if we go down the MLM format, it's like it was mostly women, it was mostly stay-at-home moms, and they weren't making any money, but they were being promised these things. And so I felt like they were being deceived. They weren't able to be a boss because they couldn't run the business they wanted to. They still had to be accountable to their uplines. And then, you know, and then they weren't able to market their own product. It was someone else's product. It was LuLaRoe's product. It wasn't something that they had made, right? It wasn't their baby. So really, they were just salespeople, but they weren't being called salespeople. And that was part of some of the research that I did. And I was like, oh, maybe that's why I had this kind of gut feeling against it. Because when I was seeing it, it was like being juxtaposed against these like lifestyles that didn't seem boss.
Well, I know for me, just listening to you say that, it kind of got me on my boss stand again. So, like, you know, let's take it back a notch.
Yeah.
You know, just a little bit. World War II, I think it was.
Yeah.
You know, where women had to work in the industrial positions and things of that nature. And I'm not separating the men. You know, they were at war. They were fighting hard for us. And, you know, we're thankful. But as far as a boss babe or being a boss lady or a boss girl, it's kind of a position for me that I feel a lot of women have been thrown in. You know, it wasn't not necessarily saying, hey, we're going out here, we're going to take over the world, we're going to be boss. No. For me, it was more so the position I was placed in. And I grabbed it, and I took it, and I ran with it. Let's see, a quick example would be, we'll just say society said ideas without getting very personal. Society said ideas, a lot of men are to run the household, right? But if those men are taken from you, some shape, form, or fashion, you have to play both parts. Right. And there was a time where I was raising a child on my own. So I just did what I had to do, and I embraced that. So I don't look at the term as like a negative thing. I always try to turn those negatives into a positive. You know, two negatives make a positive. Yeah. That's right. So I take all the negative energy and try to make it more of a positive thing. And that's why I like the term, because for me, it's more empowering. Um, for me, it shows that, again, that willpower, you know, and that you're capable of doing all things, whether it was there for you to do or not. It just was handed to me, and I just do what I got to do to make it happen. And not only that, we network, right? Like, look what we're doing now.
Right.
We're networking. We're empowering each other. So, hey, that's being a boss, man.
I
That's
love
being a
it.
boss.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
your story, and I think that is
Thank
so
you.
strong. And you know, I love that you've taken Boss Babe and ran with it, and you are such a boss. Like, I love it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hats off to everybody else.
Did you have anything else to share?
Well, just
Jennifer?
I went, you know, straight to the definition. So, you know, self-made, running their own business, acting as their own boss. And I think that all of those things are fantastic ideals. The thing that I ran into when I started researching was it's almost a generational thing too. So millennials, they put forward the whole, you know, girl boss as boss babe. I keep on doing that. Sorry.
It's all
They put
good.
boss baby as an ideal. So it was truly something to rid companies of toxic work environments, to stop sexual harassment, to stop discrimination. They totally saw it as something that was going to help fix everything. And then when he actually talked to Gen Z, they flipped it. So they said, like, you know, these people, these boss babes are in that role. It didn't change. It's still highly patriarchal. It's still, you know, people are workaholics that aren't changing everything. So their connotation was kind of the flip, like it was supposed to, but it didn't. But I don't think that should take away from the positives, because I truly think that Boss Babe can be something that helps people elevate what they believe in of themselves.
Yes.
And so I don't think it's a bad thing whatsoever. I just thought it was so interesting that between those two generations that there was that flip. So now if you see something that a Gen Z puts out, they're kind of making fun of it, like Boss Babe. But the millennial ideal was truly like, this person's going to be able to speak up and speak out,
Yes.
and to make a true difference. And I think that they still can. I think that it's just that it's been a quote unquote boss babe.
Well, it starts with self, right?
Yeah.
It starts with, like you all said in the last podcast, I saw it was great. I loved it. But mindset, right? So
Yeah.
the thing I do in the morning, I'm going to tell you this. The thing I do in the morning when I get up, I go to the mirror, not being vain. I have crust in my eyes, dry slapper on my face. And I look in the mirror and I say, girl, you are beautiful. You know, I tell those things to myself before I even enter out into the world. And I try to teach those same things. Well, nope, that was a bad boss move. Try out the vocabulary. I teach my children, you know, the same thing. Like, you have to be confident within yourself, right? And you said looking up the definition. I think that was one of the things in the definition, confidence. So I let them know, look, before you go into the world, there's a lot of negatives out there. You go in that mirror, look at you, and decide who you want to be. Give yourself those positive affirmations. I do it with the classroom. We have a thing we say every morning, you know, because I want all of them to be a boss, whether they're a guy or a girl. You're going to be a boss, babe. That's just like the hashtags, I am him, I am her. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
So I tell them every morning, you know, I am smart. And they yell it, I am smart, I am intelligent, I will succeed. Nothing can stop
I
me, not
love
even
that.
myself.
That's so
So
sweet.
it's more about getting the message out there. It's not focusing on the woman side of it or the whatever you want to call it. It's just that networking, coming together. Even with the nonprofits, it's called Meeting of Like Minds, but Bosswomen Incorporated, because it was 3 women that came together, and we decided to network and push this thing out. Not saying that we don't have men in that. No, we do. We need our men. We need you. And we lean on them. Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, thank you.
Going back to your kind of like making fun of the term a little bit, I was going online and I was finding this. Yeah, this is me going on like ta 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 ta. They had this really cute little game that was kind of making fun of the terms and the idea behind it, and it was actually called Boss Babe the Game. And I printed out a couple Like,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, so the Boss Babe the game is an anti-MLM. So really my focus on the Boss Babe thing is not so much the word itself, but maybe more of the MLM attachment to it, how they work together. And so they had a game where it's this anti-MLM card game that challenges you to build your downline into a pyramid before you take out too many credit cards and get eliminated from the game. Ouch! Right? Which is really hilarious. And they have kind of like cards in there. And one of the cards kind of is referencing how you get, it says free conference. Congratulated, you are awarded 1 free ticket to the annual conference. What an honor. Rooms and board weren't included, so you and your 4 ladies need to split the cost, and you're splitting groceries to make the trip more affordable. And the charges are adding up, and so you're not sure if you'll even be able to pay your 1/4 of the room cost. Take out a credit card. Like,
Wow.
it's, yeah. Referencing that was kind of funny. I was like, wow, they even have a game about it. So I thought that was kind of funny.
I think that I could totally see that. For the MLMs, they totally have kind of grabbed that as, you know, people want to be their own boss, and they're saying that through an MLM you can, and this is the dream of what you're going to get, and often the reality is not exactly the same.
Yeah, they did studies that it showed that they were actually preying on the women that way. So it not only reinforced that they, in the end, it almost reinforced that they couldn't become that. And so that was something I kind of grabbed onto more as far as like the term, you know, like
Yes,
yeah.
I got it. Well, we see it, we vision it, we believe it within ourselves, and we do it.
Yeah.
You see yourself doing it. Yeah, regardless of what they say.
Yes.
'Cause I'm
Yeah.
a boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the fact you were directing that towards a printout on the table. Like,
Right.
Yeah, you take that. No matter what you say.
That game.
Right. We can play the game. We can beat the game.
Yes.
You know, we're not in that. So that's something that's good on us.
What else you got in your stack over there?
Oh, so much. One of the ones that I was kind of looking at, the origin of Girl Boss, Boss Babe, is from an author named Sophia Amoruso.
That's what I got too.
Yeah, she started the Nasty Gal Vintage, which was an eBay store.
Right.
And within a couple years, she went from like 250,000 in revenue to like 30 million in revenue.
Wow.
And so she built all that, and I thought that was just amazing. But after she wrote her book, that's when all the terms started really coming out.
Which
so she,
is called Boss Babe.
yeah, Girl Boss.
Girl Boss.
Yeah, her book was called Girl Boss.
Maybe that's why I'm so
why you have
confused.
it.
Yeah, maybe. And so she wrote that in 2014, and not long after, people started coming out with all those terms, and it became really popular. And then like I started seeing like instead of CEO, there was CEO.
Oh, wow.
Instead of
Okay.
entrepreneur, there was
Wow.
entrepreneur.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I see. Yeah.
So there's a lot of those things in there. And then I noticed recently, just very, very recently, I noticed that they were using the term boss bro. And I was like, is this like the evolution of the term now?
Maybe. Yeah.
So maybe now it's not just girl boss anymore, it's heading towards that. Maybe we'll hear boss bro coming up real soon.
I don't know. I just know in the United States, 43% women entrepreneurs, owners?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. It's
That's
awesome.
amazing.
And I see what you say about mindset. Like, I appreciate anything that helps people to grow and to better themselves and to go into those roles that they maybe thought when they were younger that they couldn't. So anything that could be potentially a blessing, I think is a huge thing. So even though my weird connotation of it to me, it kind of is Instagram. I got stuff that says Boss Babe. I got stuff that says Girl Boss. All of it. Because I like it in the end.
I don't have anything that says girl boss. I don't have anything that says boss babe.
Right?
Yeah.
You'll stash it in your office. You won't even know.
Yeah, it
Totally.
has not been my thing. But I understand the appeal, and I do like that there's pink stuff for bosses now. So I do like that, and you know, that part's really nice.
So I did a couple crowdsourcing. just to see like what they thought. I call it the phone a friend response. The first one I asked is kind of exactly what you were saying. Negative, just because why add a gender to it? Boss is a boss is a boss, and that they just always wanted to be a boss. Then the other person actually said the same thing. She felt empowered. She felt emboldened. She felt that it was such a great thing to teach upcoming generations that there's room for you no matter what table. That whatever your drive is, you can achieve it. So again, running kind of the gamut from both sides.
I feel like, you know, maybe as a woman, and maybe the guys will disagree, but I feel like as a woman, like you're trying to run these businesses, the struggles of just being a boss, you know, are equal to what a man goes through. And then we have possibly even more struggles because we have to validate that our business is legitimate and that, you know, we are capable of these things.
Because you're a girl boss and don't even know.
That's, I am a girl, a woman, and I am a boss. Those things are true.
I got you.
Yeah. I like that we can have this discussion and we're, you know, going in different directions with it.
Right.
But at the same time, like, you know, we're all super capable. And I think it's just amazing that we can meet together and talk about these things.
And I appreciate you all having me.
Of
I
course,
do,
yeah, you're
I was so
fantastic.
honored. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be on TV.
Well, I just love this whole premise of, you know, we all come from different vantage points, and
Yes.
we do our research, and then we bring what we find back to the table, and then we're able to appreciate that everybody does have a slightly different opinion,
Right.
and that doesn't make it less valid.
Right.
Everything is, so.
Right.
And then for me as well, you know, there were some discussions like we don't have female lawyer, we don't have female doctor.
Right.
I mean, we don't have female.
Sometimes there's
We might say it like to describe like, oh, not that doctor, but the other doctor. Or maybe if I want to go to a gynecologist, I want to go to a female doctor or something like that, right? But that's also another reason I'm like, why I don't like a gendered boss term.
I understand. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, but and that was what makes you know?
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah,
If we were all the same, it would be so boring.
so boring.
I agree.
Yes.
I
It's
agree.
like, well,
I love having so many different viewpoints, and I love learning about other people and what makes them tick, and I love that.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes the world richer.
Meeting of like minds.
Did you guys have anything more to share?
I know that you do, so let's go back to you.
Despite all the Boss Babe hate, I got some best Boss Babe quotes for extreme motivation,
Wow.
when just regular motivation's not enough. Extreme.
I mean, any motivation should be enough.
Extreme.
Haleii, can you give me a number from 1 to 72?
Oh, I thought she was gonna go in the 100.
1 to 72. Give me a number.
13.
13. Okay. Says, to change your life, you need to change your priorities. Boss Babe.
How come they all say boss babe?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked that actually. This is from like an Instagram website that is bossbabe.com.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And so it has a lot of posts and motivational podcasts that are, you know, empowering to women. So I actually got this, I think, from their site where it has all of the quotes that they put on, I think, some of their stuff. So
It's funny to me because I think that they probably are quotes that somebody else said, and they're just like, boss babe.
probably,
Boss babe.
probably.
Well, that isn't nice.
I know. Do 23.
23. Okay. Success is always possible. Boss Babe.
That was kind of lame.
This is extreme motivation going on over here.
Extreme.
Extreme.
Another number. What do you think?
21. You can never go wrong with 21.
21. What you focus on will create more of it in your life.
I
Boss
believe
Babe.
that. I believe
Yeah.
that. Okay, I can agree with
Okay,
that.
there
one.
literally is a quote that says pretty much
Yes,
that.
right, yeah.
I think they changed 2 words to make it Boss Babe.
That's what they did.
What you focus on grows, I think is the, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Anything else before
45.
45? Okay.
For mom. Age.
Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Boss Babe. I actually identify with that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite quotes, I believe, is Thomas Jefferson. And it is, I find that the harder I work, the luckier I get. And so that has always been something for me. Like, if I keep working and striving in the direction that I want, like, I somehow get to be very lucky in those things that I'm trying to get, you know?
Yes.
But it's not luck. It's because you worked.
Right.
You worked hard.
Exactly.
You worked very
That's
hard.
almost kind of one of my triggers is saying you're just so lucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, I just put in the work.
Right.
Where other people weren't willing to do it, I kept on doing it and was continuous and
Yes.
showed up every day.
So for me, the term luckier in the quote is like when people say you're lucky.
Yeah.
I realize that it's not luck.
Right.
It's through hard work.
Right.
And it's just so happens the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Right.
Yeah. That's how I interpret it.
As in, we're
Yeah.
so lucky to be on this podcast.
I'm excited.
Well, you're a fantastic guest.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being our third nerd.
Oh,
Third nerd.
I love it.
You know, that's what they say.
I love it. I thought you were the perfect embodiment for Boss Babe. So I was like, yes. Haleii said
Aw,
yes,
thank
she would
you.
come on. I
Oh,
was like,
wow. Wow.
woo.
Well, you know you inspired me as well.
Oh,
You didn't know that?
No.
You made me go to school. You made me go get
forced
that
you.
master's in nonprofit. You made me stay up late.
And you did it.
I did it, yes.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
so amazed. And I think
you.
you're so amazing. You know, everything that you, since we've met, all the stuff that you've done has been like super awe-inspiring.
Yeah, I could give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? You know, I got it, but what am I gonna do with it? So we need each other, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me more about your meeting of like minds?
Well, it is a nonprofit. We do a lot of our seminars and workshops and things for the community out of Venue 38 in Redlands. So,
You were telling me about that. That's one of
Yeah, and
your
it's,
friends that is.
yes, my
Opened
friend
it up.
Christine
Yeah.
Harris, yeah.
Yes.
And with that being said, it's to help lessen financial hardship
Okay.
in different ways. You know, I get bored really fast, so I had to think of something that was broad, where I could do everything that I want to do. Yeah, and we just collaborate with people in the community and make things happen, and those that need help with certain things, we're there to help. Yeah, resources and all.
So we'll have all of your contact information, Instagram handle, whatever it is, we can put it on the end of the podcast.
Yeah,
Or the
coming
web
soon to a
series.
theater near you.
Love it. What do we end our podcast with? Do we have like cool facts or anything?
Oh, that would be
I
fun.
didn't do cool facts.
Oh,
No. So we were trying to do this thing where I did cool facts.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
That would be
share
fun.
it.
We
see,
can make
let's
up our
see.
own. Be resourceful. We
Yes.
got this. We got this, ladies. You want to take the phone, huh?
Kind
Don't
of.
You want it, huh? You want it,
Because
huh?
I love this just the randomness. So I had cool facts about like what month it was. I had cool facts about just randomness.
Well, why not?
What should we do, Tina? What's a cool fact you know?
When I was doing my research, it said that in the, like you had mentioned before, before World War II, most of the salesmen that were doing direct to sales, like going door to door knocking, were majority men.
Right.
And then after World War II, all the way to 1980s, it became started to become majority women. And I thought that was a really cool fact, how it kind of shifted from men to women in that respect, you know?
Yes. Okay.
I do know that single women it's becoming more common for them to buy their own home by themselves. I don't know the exact percentage, but that is a number that's been growing year upon year. that they want to get out and have their own place, and that they're buying it on their own to get started.
I think I saw a statistic
wow.
where it said single women versus single men, more single women buy homes
Correct.
than single men buy homes. Yeah.
Numbers to come to you soon.
Yeah. Which I thought was really cool. I wonder why the difference is. Is it gendered?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Something to find out.
Yeah.
What's your random fact that we may not know the exact?
A random fact. I don't have one. What can I say? Random fact. I don't know. Help me, ladies. I don't know. I need coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just, we didn't have a random fact.
Plants are good for brains. It's true.
All plants?
I
Yeah.
have one.
Okay.
Pomegranates are really good for a lot of things.
Okay, tell
I
us
had
more.
one last night. I don't know. We can look it up. It was my best friend on my phone. But a lot of healthy things. Cancer as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Antioxidants, right?
Yes,
Tons of it.
antioxidants. Yeah, inflammatory. Yeah.
Nice. Well, okay.
Pomegranates
Yeah.
coming to a store near you.
Yes.
Or a tree.
And then, so I guess, does this wrap up our podcast?
I think it does. Anything else?
I have nothing.
Okay.
Be a boss.
Be a boss. Welcome to In 3 Nerds We Trust.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
3 Nerds.
And that brings us to the end of another exciting episode of In 3 Nerds We Trust. Thank you for listening and hanging out with us today. If you have any questions or topic suggestions, reach out to us at in3nerdswetrust@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you, so don't hesitate to reach out. Our special guest today was Haleii Poullard of MOLM, Meeting of Like Minds, Bosswomen Incorporated. If you'd like to reach her, you can email her at msp@kidsrppl2.com. Or you can call the Meeting of Like Minds Bosswomen Incorporated phone number at 909-312-8691. If you found some value in today's episode and want to stay connected, here are a few ways you can do that. Subscribe to In 3 Nerds We Trust on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. Leave us a rating and review on any of the platforms. Your feedback helps us improve and reach a wider audience. Share this episode with friends, family, or anyone who might enjoy the thoughts and insights we shared today. We'll have a new episode every other week, so please stay tuned for more interesting topics. Thanks again for your support, and follow us on Instagram and YouTube as well. Bye!